Yours is Jinkies, hers is Jeepers, mine is Zoinks,
Jinkies?
yours is Row, yours is
Wait, what's that?
What's up, guys? Welcome to our special
Halloween episode.
Spooky
Halloween.
Yeah, we're all dressed up, and
We're the Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah, we're the Scooby-Doo gang, guys. So much fun. This is not my idea.
This was actually courtesy of Emma. Emma's idea.
Emma.
Yes, I snagged the Shaggy costume so fast.
Yeah, we were dragged into this, but
Yes.
it's fun. So basically, do we introduce ourselves as
Yeah,
the characters?
We're gonna introduce
As-
ourselves and then also our characters.
Yeah, guys, I'm Jack. I am Fred. Guys, let's split up.
Hey y'all, I'm EJ. Zoinks, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Rennie. I'm Velma. Jinkies.
I'm Emma. I'm Daphne. Jeepers.
Oh my god, this is so funny.
I'm Cash. I'm Scooby-Doo.
That was actually so good.
He's been practicing.
Yeah. He's been practicing for this episode.
Yes.
Yep.
I know it looks like we would be talking about Scooby-Doo, but
But we're actually not.
we're going to be talking
We're
about
talking about my favorite Halloween movie,
Hocus
Hocus
Pocus.
Pocus.
Yes.
The best Halloween movie ever made.
Well,
Yes.
we'll get
Okay.
into that.
We'll decide.
We'll get that later.
Hush.
Like, I have a wig.
Oh.
But
Emma has a wig.
Emma wants to show
her
off the
fit's not
wig.
complete, guys.
For you listeners, Emma is
I'm
applying
gonna
her
put-
wig,
I'm
which
gonna
makes
put
her
it
more
on a little
ginger
bit.
before.
Yeah, you gotta fix.
we love
yeah,
our
there you go.
ginger
Does it look
queen.
good,
Oh,
guys?
the headband.
Oh,
The headband's where it's at.
wow.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I just wanted to try it on for a second because
No,
I
you gotta
paid.
leave it on the rest of the episode.
No.
I don't want lice.
All right.
It's your own wig,
You
right?
just throw
No,
it.
it's gonna be my pet now. I'm gonna like keep
Oh,
it in
it's
my
gonna be your
lap and just,
pet.
like-
Oh.
Give yourself lice? Anyway,
No.
Sorry. Synopsis. Okay.
Yeah, synopsis.
We're
Hocus
talking
Pocus.
about Hocus Pocus 1993 Disney film.
The
Okay.
best film ever.
I have a special connection to this movie just because it's Salem, Massachusetts, which is just a beautiful town.
It is.
Then there's too many times to count. Love it. But the synopsis is that it's obviously set based on the Salem witch trials, late 1600s. I think they said 1693, where the three Sanderson sisters are they're doing witchcraft, so they get hanged, and it's actually very kind of visceral for a kids movie.
Yeah, that like
They
but
eat kids.
Before they
Yeah.
eat kids, and so before they die, they curse one of the kids in the town to become a cat and to live forever.
yeah.
Yeah.
His name is Thatcher. He appears later. That's right.
Yeah.
So 300 years pass, and there are some kids in the town. One who's kind of an emo kind of boy named Zach.
It's not like other guys.
Yeah, and then his
Not like
love
other
interest
guys,
Allison.
no.
They're both like 17.
Yeah, they're in high
And
school.
They reverse the curse by because Zach is a virgin. He lights a candle.
Yeah.
And it's made out of like human flesh or whatever they said.
Yeah,
And
it's-
now the witches are back.
Yeah, it's before the witches died, they put like a curse on
That,
a
like, would
candle
bring them
that if
back
a
to-
virgin
If-
lit
yeah,
the candle.
Which is
That's
so bizarre.
funny.
Wait, no, but
For a
wasn't it
kids
like
movie.
it had to be like under like a
Under a full moon.
under a full moon?
Yeah, because it was like
Then the witch
Halloween
would
night.
come back.
Halloween night.
Yeah.
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 So
Is there
the
gonna be
whole
a
thing
full moon this
happens where he doesn't believe that it's real,
Yeah.
so he lights the candle, and guess what
so
happens?
scary.
Whatever.
Witches are back.
He's trying to be
Yes.
cool to this
That's
girl.
a line in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And,
why I said
yeah,
that.
now the witches are back. You see kind of a funny montage of them adjusting to
Like the modern day.
the 90s.
Yeah.
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 And there's some
Modern
interesting
day,
things to
but-
say about that, but not the time or place yet. But
At the time.
they have to basically they banish the sisters. There's a big fight. One of the exes of one of the witches comes back
Oh,
to
yeah,
life
yeah.
and helps the kids. Billy. They end up banishing them, and the people that were stuck in the afterlife, the cat turns back into the kid,
Yeah.
and then dies because who wants to live forever? And then
Yeah.
you think, oh, the witches are banished, and then the book of like the curse or the tale of the witches opens the eye.
And the second movie like just came out, so
Yeah.
Oh
Which
yeah,
it's not good.
there
but
is a
we're
second
not talking
movie.
about that one. We're
We will
talking about
not.
only
We
the
will
refuse
not
to
be
watch the
talking about the
second
second
one.
movie. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to hot takes. What we thought about the movie overall, and just our general thoughts about it. My hot take about this movie is that it's great. It's classic.
It's the
a
best
great
Halloween movie I've ever seen.
That's debatable.
It's debatable, but we're going to debate that later,
Yes.
this or that. But
My-
overall thoughts, this movie was really good. I think it was shot pretty well too.
Yes.
The scenes are iconic, and it's like very easy to remember. It's like
Yeah.
I don't forget a lot about this movie. And there's like a few scenes where I'm like, oh, haha, that was funny. Like the whole thing where they were like, Satan, and then like go and it's like some old like middle-aged dude.
That was good.
Like
Yeah.
who's dressed
Yeah.
up as the devil, and that was a funny
It's
scene.
so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
My-
don't know. Great movie.
I have a hot take. My hot take is going to be that the first time I watched it, I couldn't watch the whole thing because I got scared.
Yeah.
What?
When I was little.
young- when I
But
was
I
little, that
was
was
like
the
one of
same
those
with me.
kids that got scared of everything.
I thought you meant
So-
like at like 17 or at 18.
Oh no! I've watched the movie a million times since,
Yeah.
but the first time I watched it, it was like, okay, it starts off with them literally eating a girl.
Yeah.
Like that traumatized me as a child, and I was
What,
like, this
like-
is not what kind of Disney movie is this? Like, why are they
I
killing
didn't
kids?
watch it as a kid. Like
You
I watched
didn't?
it for
Me
the
neither.
first time like last week.
Wait, actually?
I
Yeah.
always watched it when I was a kid. Like my godmom, she's obsessed with Halloween, and so am I. And she loves Hocus Pocus, so we would watch it together when I lived in Florida, like every Halloween, and it was so much fun. But it freaked me out as a child.
Yeah, okay,
But
I'm not the
now
only
that
one.
I'm older, I'm like, this is like the best movie
Your
ever.
godmom might be my mom. She loves the movie so much. But and I see
We're
why.
like
But I think
related.
my hot take is that this does not feel like a kids movie.
Exactly.
Because of a few things.
They made it kind of scary. Okay.
Well, scary is one way to put it, but
I
it's
think
also
that it's kind of like vulgar.
that's what
with,
I was
with
gonna
the with the whole virgin
Oh,
thing.
well,
Why are they
that
talking
already
about
was
that
like,
in
oh,
a
how he's a
kids
virgin,
movie?
like,
Well, also I forgot which witch's name, but the one that's like the blonde one.
My favorite witch.
She's like
Sarah.
very
Sarah.
much, yeah.
Yeah,
She's like
she's,
very much sexualized in this movie.
She's
my
favorite witch.
The whole
Yeah.
time.
And-
Like the scene with the bus driver.
Oh,
Like that
yeah.
scene, I was like,
Oh yeah, when she's like sitting in his lap.
yeah.
The bus driver says something like, "I want," or you're saying the witches. He goes, "I can take you wherever you want," and then the witches go, "We want to find children," and he goes,
I can help
he
with
goes,
that. Yeah.
I can help with that."
Yeah.
And then there's also, which is like one thing considering that there's like adult characters, but there's also the thing where like when what's his name, Zach was at the party, and his little sister was the little sister, like the annoying sister.
Danny.
Yeah.
Danny.
Oh,
Then
she was so annoying.
Yeah, she was annoying. I don't like her. But she went up to the girl he liked, Allison, and she's like, "Yeah, he talks about your boobs all the time."
Oh yeah, that
I-
thing.
But like
I
they
was
didn't
like,
use the
what?
word boob. What are they? I was like yabos or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
oh my
weird
gosh.
word.
But
He
okay,
and then he was like, he loves your yabos, and I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
Chill.
Hold on.
but the thing is,
And
like,
like the mom is
Disney.
like wearing like cones. On the
Yeah. Like, if you think about this being a Disney kids movie,
You'll never think of it.
like if you watch it, you do not think Disney made this because
No.
it's so sexualized.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like
I feel like
it has
was
so
more
many
made for the
adult jokes,
parents
and
of
like yeah,
children.
most Disney shows now, if you go back and watch them, like they have some adult jokes, but there's not nearly as much as. And this movie just makes it like really obvious, like
Yeah.
that making comments like that about
Yeah.
women's
I
bodies,
mean,
but
I feel like it was more made for the parents to like
Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
a
so
Yeah.
Halloween
this movie's
movie
great.
because like
Yeah.
they're so tired of their kids being like, oh my gosh, let's watch a kids Halloween movie and it being animated and them being like, I want to be here. And then Hocus Pocus comes out and they're like, okay, I see
Yeah.
what you're doing, Disney,
Yeah.
and I like it. But
I mean the music is good. I will
Yes,
say,
well,
like
that's
put a
like
spell
Yeah.
on.
like the songs that they
Oh my
sing,
God.
they're good. But there's just some scenes that could have not been necessary,
Yeah.
or some lines
Yeah,
that
I mean,
were
if they were
unnecessary.
gonna make it a kids movie, they should have just gone all the way. And then if they were gonna make it more of like
An adult
like
issue.
I-
an
you know
adult
what? I
raunchy film,
disagree.
they should have gone.
I disagree. By Disney making it the fact that it's adults can enjoy it and kids can enjoy it, you now are gonna watch Hocus Pocus
Well, you
from
can
age
do that
10 till
without-
age 40.
Like
Everywhere.
it can be
We're
for
in Bush
everyone with you can add like the film can be for everyone without that aspect of it. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They could have had the film still be enjoyable
Like
for
adults
both
don't
adults and
need-
kids.
Did the adults really want that comment?
But did
Which
it?
comment?
But did it kind of catch you every time they said something like that?
But the thing
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
I think that Disney was like, yeah, well, all of these comments are gonna fly over kids' heads, which they
They-
will
they
for the
do.
most
They
part.
do
Yeah.
fly over kids' heads.
That is very
Like
Hang-
it will
yeah.
for like
And the entire concept of the movie being that he's a virgin.
Yeah, but like.
Oh yeah, like is a 7-year-old gonna know
Okay,
what
but
that is?
yeah, exactly. When you're like that little, are you really gonna know what
I
that
was
means?
Yeah, I was a kid who would totally ask my mom that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, oh, I guess I can't show my kids Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
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 What is it rated, PG?
Probably.
I think
Probably
so.
like, but like old
You're right, I have
PG.
to-
Yeah, but we have to understand that this movie was made like when like PG was like different
It was
type of
93.
PG, you know?
I think, was it Back to the Future was one of the first ones to earn like the 13?
No, that's not true. Indiana Jones was.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah,
It was
so-
like mid-80s, right?
So,
So Indiana Jones.
yeah,
was-
ratings were
yeah.
different back then.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I believe it was Temple of Doom was the first movie to kind of be like PG-13. It wasn't the first one to be rated, but it was the first one to bring up the conversation of they need something in between PG and R.
It makes sense. That's a
Yeah.
pretty big jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
like, I'm not really allowed to watch PG-13 movies without my mom watching it first and her like looking at reviews and stuff. So if this was rated PG-13 and I was a child, I wouldn't have watched it. I would not have been allowed to watch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you
I think
for
if-
being
yeah.
rated PG.
If it would have been PG-13, it would have been on like the way lower side, like compared to
Yeah.
everything nowadays.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I absolutely loved the movie. I don't mean that to like sound negative. It's like
It's,
again,
like, the
out of
best
the context
movie.
of it being a kids movie, I love it.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a good movie. It's an entertaining story. There's a lot of
didn't like it
comedy.
Yeah.
There's comedy aspects that
I'm gonna kill you.
everyone's gonna enjoy. It's a movie for really any age.
Yeah.
Everybody can enjoy it.
Like my godmom, she watches it
yeah.
so much.
And this is, I mean,
And
I will
she's in
say,
her
like,
30s,
EJ, I
so-
cannot imagine watching it like every single year. I still do it, but like having it be like that, no, because
Oh, every single year.
Well, the thing is,
Every
like,
year.
it's kind of like Elf, how everybody watches it all the time, and it kind of gets boring,
Yes.
and or it's like kind of overplayed. I feel like that also happened with this movie, which I kind of think is why they made the second one, which we're not gonna get
That's
into.
valid.
But
Yeah.
I,
Didn't work.
I think they should have.
refused to watch the
I
second
can
one.
understand why it has such like a cult following and it's such like a classic, but like
all
watching
the
it,
Disney adults.
watching
Oh
it
my
like
gosh.
last week, I loved the like vibe of it. It was very like, even though I had never seen it before, somehow the like vibe of it was still nostalgic, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I found it kind of boring at times. Like kind of like,
Yeah.
ugh,
Like,
I
like
don't want-
slow moving type of thing.
Yeah, like I feel like there was a long period of time where like nothing was really happening, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a
Yeah.
lot of like them trying to figure out the modern world or whatever.
I was gonna
It's
say,
like-
Yeah.
you have to get
Yeah.
transported back. It's kind of like a
yeah,
novelty. Just,
yeah.
I feel like
But
this,
the thing is that they did a better job with like the comedy aspect of them trying to find like get used to the new world in the second one than they did in the first one.
okay.
There's a lot more comedy
Well,
in the
that's
second
well,
one.
that's relative
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
age because nowadays we're like, oh, they do all this stuff nowadays that like there's phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the '90s, it was like it's Halloween night, everybody's trick or treating, so it's more the fact that they're like,
Yeah.
look at all these ghosts and ghouls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back
and-
in
yeah,
the
it's when they're like,
90s,
oh my gosh,
it's like,
there's
there were more parties.
yeah, it's like I
more
smell kids, but I
trick-or-treating.
don't see kids because
Yeah.
they're all dressed up.
Yeah.
That's such
There's,
a
like,
weird
nowadays-
statement.
Yeah.
Really see a lot- yeah. Nowadays, you don't really see a lot of kids trick or treating because like it's really bad out there sometimes. But back in the 90s, so many kids were out. There were so many parties, and
I
like
was gonna do
everyone, like really no one would be home unless you were handing out candy to children.
Yeah.
But now,
Yeah.
there's everyone's just at home or maybe at one of the very few parties
I
that's
think
out.
people also realize you can get your better candy by choosing and buying it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Halloween has definitely changed
it
from.
has, which is so sad because it's
But
my
it hasn't
favorite
because it's gotten
holiday.
older.
Well, I feel like I feel like it's a little bit mix of both. Because
Yeah.
now, like, our Halloween plan is kind of like just hang out, like dress up, hang out with friends, you know, watch a scary movie or something, eat candy, like that kind of thing. But even think about it, even like when we were little, trick or treating was not like as big of a deal as it was.
I always
in the
Personally,
90s.
mine
It was a
like-
huge
See, it
deal
depends.
for me.
It depends.
Well, yeah, but like it was like you would start, but it was only like one night, and you would get with your friends. But it like
yeah,
We
it's
had
fun.
back
trick
then-
or treat,
Yeah,
it's
and then we
Halloween,
had
yeah.
trick or treat.
yeah, but like I feel like it's just I feel like Halloween and trick or treating was just like a lot of a bigger deal for the kids
Yeah.
back in the day than it
Well,
is for
yeah,
kids
it is.
now.
I think it is still a big deal now. Like kids look forward to it so much, but now it's
Yeah.
like
'Cause
there's a lot more
it's,
like
like, just the
precautions
candy.
surrounding
Yeah.
it with parents.
And I
being
think
like,
Yeah.
also, yeah, well, there's a lot less trust that is built, whereas like in the '90s, it was just like you would let your kid run around for 5 blocks and just be like, all right, come back home, buy blankety blank, and then like.
And now the parents are like
nowadays
walking.
It's like, I am with you at all times. Do not leave my side.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
like
which
I
is
have
sucky,
Life
but-
360,
I was gonna say
so
Life
my mom
360,
like yeah.
But still, like that's tough. I mean, for kids like our age, like if we wanted to go trick or treating like tomorrow, our parents are like, oh yeah, fine, like whatever you want.
Yeah.
But it's also depending on like its age, it's like where you're at and what neighborhood you're in. Because like I know I was in a neighborhood in South Carolina where like we would go and walk for 12 plus blocks with pillowcases and fill them up and like be on sacks or whatever. And so like that was huge. And then like by the time I was like 8 years old, like we went to Disney for Halloween 2 years in a row, and it was like, so it depends on age. Nowadays, like you were saying, it's party. It's like you go hang out.
Well, that kind of adds to like how Jack would say, or Fred, that it's very like vibey in the sense that like you're like, oh, I want to be a kid.
Yeah. People
Yeah.
like
Just,
that.
It's nostalgic for the fact that it makes
like
you want
having fun
Yeah.
and
So
trick or
Salem,
treating.
Massachusetts is like you can't escape it there. If it's not big anywhere else, like
Salem,
fine.
Massachusetts. I really want to go. Like that's one of the places on my bucket list.
yeah,
I really want to
in
go
like
to.
the summer, it was like there's like
It's
everything is like
beautiful.
witch themed, which
Yeah.
like make of that what you will, but like yeah, it's like you. I think they definitely haven't lost it.
Yeah, I want to go to one of their haunted like motels and like spend the night there because I feel like that'd be so much fun to do.
Yeah, the graveyard where like supposedly like the largest concentration of like the accused witches were buried is like one of the weirdest places.
I was about to
You gotta
say,
go there. Yeah.
I feel like that just feels weird.
Oh, if we went there, we would not survive.
Yeah, like Halloween, I guess it was more fun back in the day. Now it's more like
it's more like
I want to go get scared. Like I want to go
I wanna
and
feel
go
that
to like a
adrenaline.
haunted house and get that adrenaline of like
Yeah.
being scared.
Or it's also
that's
like
also a
I
spin
want to
over.
go out to a party, get
Literally turn.
get Lady Turnt,
Even though we kind of already like
incorporated
Touched on it.
everything.
touched on it, like
can
dipped our feet
more-
into the segment,
we
we're
can,
gonna
like-
go straight into the new segment, magic moments.
Yes.
This is the feels segment. I think we can all agree that this movie is very nostalgic.
It is so nostalgic.
Like that's
for
the
me.
emotion. That's
Oh
that's
my
like the main
gosh.
emotion we all feel.
Yeah, I like what we said. I want to go back to being a little kid, just watching the movie with a giant bucket of popcorn and candy, because it's so nostalgic, and I love it so much, and I'm really glad this movie was made.
Yeah, my
'Cause it's
magic moment would just be the I put a spell on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
whole scene.
So good.
So
That's a good one.
good.
Oh, I also like a magic moment for me would also just kind of be like they're enjoying being kids so much, and it kind of has that thing of like the adults are dumb and they don't know what's going on, and the
Yeah.
kids know what's going on, and I feel like that
That is
aspect of the
so-
movie always
yeah.
makes it like so much better. Where
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like the kids are watching and they're like, we're so smart.
Yeah, well, when the
Yeah.
kids are the ones who are like leading.
Yeah,
and,
like they're
Yeah.
in control of
Yeah.
everything, and it adds to like the fun.
Which is like when you're a kid, you're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Like the
Yeah,
parents
like-
are in charge, we are.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, like all you want is a little bit of
A little bit
a
of
little bit
power.
of like power
Yeah.
and
A little bit of this.
you
a
know
little bit
not
of that.
having like your parents like dictate everything. So
Yeah.
when movies give you that, it's like oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts. I would say a magic moment for me is kind of funny, but it's like a moment where it's just like, I quote this so often, but this is ice. That part of the movie is so funny, where it's like the two, like, whatever they are, like
This is
bad
ice.
guys or whatever.
Like the bullies.
Yeah, the bullies, and how bro's got ice shaved in the back of his head and like is acting all tough and stuff, and they steal his sneakers and things. I just like, those two characters are like so funny to me.
Yeah,
and so
I
I
love
watched this
them.
movie, I'm like, I wish I had more of them the whole time.
Yeah, I would
But-
say also like the part where Zach is his name?
Zach.
When he's like escaping and he like takes his shoes back and runs out. I feel like there's this moment where you like think that he's gonna maybe save them, and I like that he didn't.
Talking about at the
Yeah.
beginning.
No,
at the
at the
very
end, when
end.
they're in
Like, I
the
like
in the
that he didn't
cages,
save them
and he
because,
walked up and he
like,
like snagged his shoes and
They
left.
were awful to him, and like
Yeah.
him not saving him is kind of like. Eh.
Like,
But I thought that we were gonna have that moment where like he goes back and saves them, and then like they cause more mischief.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Or it's like the thing where,
He had his moment where he got his shoes back.
or like when the hero saves the villain and the villain's like, why did you save me? And they're like, because I'm a
Nah,
hero.
Disney was like, give me my Jordans back.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah. No, I have one magic moment. Well, I actually have two, but I forgot the other one, so hopefully it'll come back to me. But when we first see like the zombie guy,
Garfield.
Billy.
Yeah.
Billy.
He's my favorite.
Yeah,
Love him.
he was such
He
like
deserved
a
more screen time.
he was such a
Yeah.
comedic relief character for the
Yeah.
little screen time that
Yeah.
he had. I really enjoyed the scenes with him.
Especially how his mouth was
It was
closed
sewn
for
shut.
the first like few
Yeah.
scenes, and he's just
Yeah.
like,
He's just like, I can't
it's
talk.
just and the face he's making the whole time because it wasn't sewed
Yeah.
shut like, it was sewed shut like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so
Oh,
funny.
I remember my other magic moment. The other magic moment is when the sisters, the Salem sisters, go into the house and they realize that like everyone's dressed up as them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, they
Yeah.
worship us!"
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
which honestly, I do.
Like I think that's so. That was like such a cool thing. How they're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, everybody loves us. Like we are."
Yeah, it's but like you said, the I put a spell on you scene. Oh my gosh, I wanted to be them so bad.
I just remembered big magic moment when they're riding the different types of brooms.
Oh, yes.
And she's got the vacuum. I was
Yes.
like, that was great. Because I was
Yes.
like, the easy thing would have been they just call random brooms and fly off. But
Yeah.
it's like they go in the closet, they're like, what do we use? This vacuum looking thing, and they just like fly
Yeah.
away with it.
It's
that
so
was really
funny.
funny. I thought that was really clever.
Mystical, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did a lot with them being witches. Like that
Yeah.
added
Yeah.
to like the comedic effect of the
Yeah.
movie.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's a comedic movie, but I feel like if you're little, it could still be
scary.
Scary.
Yeah.
And I know that because it was scary for me.
It was it was definitely scary for me as
Has
well.
its spooky vibes.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's comedic, but it also takes itself seriously at
Yeah.
the same time, and not at the same
Yeah,
time.
it
Like
doesn't
take
it's a
itself
perfect
too
balance where it's like
seriously.
we're not too serious about. Oh, guys, this is so spooky,
No,
but we're
yeah.
also like it's funny. Like,
It's a
what it
good
needed to
balance.
be.
yeah,
It's a
you
good
should,
balance.
You
It's silly
should laugh,
goofy.
but you should also be scared. You know?
Yeah, they didn't rely too much on the scary aspect, and they also didn't rely too much on the comedy. So I think it was like a good
mesh.
balance
It was,
of
it was
just
great.
comedy and
Yeah.
spooky vibes that make it so
like-
great.
There's not too much spooky, not too much funny haha. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I think you guys mostly mentioned my magic moments, but I didn't want to abuse the segment before we got to it, but there are definitely some moments.
Yeah.
Welcome to your favorite segment, huh? This is moments where you're like, what? So who would like to start us off?
Cash.
Cash.
Scooby.
Yeah, Cash,
has
go
got
for
a
it.
few, apparently.
I know I mentioned some things that I was like, why did they do this at the beginning, out of love, but the one that I didn't get to, that I think is pretty potent, is when they're in the classroom and Zach is like I don't like Halloween. What did he say? Something like, it was made up by the candy companies.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a conspiracy.
It's conspiracy. And then what my hum moment is not how Allison responds, because she's like actually it's a Celtic holiday based on pagan traditions and
It is.
adapted by the Catholic Church. Like
Yeah.
she gets
Yeah.
into that
Which
thing.
is so very
and
true.
Then, which is like one thing, but then the class is like hyping her up, like yeah, bro, yeah,
You got this. Yeah.
yeah, like what?
Like
She did her research.
when did this become like Def Jam? Like
yeah. And also, I'm like, way to pick on the new kid. Like,
Yeah.
make
No,
him feel
for
welcome.
real.
Like, y'all don't even know this kid, and you're just like, you suck. Like, it was
that was the same scene where he gives her
his number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on,
Which
what's
was
the deal
so
with-
like
Yeah.
random.
It was weird, but then later on, she like,
I think
gives it
she
back.
gave him
Yeah.
it back by being like,
what does that mean?
I don't want it.
No,
I mean, I don't
she
want it,
wrote-
or like I wrote
she
it down.
wrote-
Yeah.
No, I don't think she wrote anything in it. I think he literally opened it and like
It was just
sighed
his
when
number.
he saw it was just his number.
Yeah, it's just his number.
Like I think she was being like, you're not cool enough.
Yeah, like I don't want
Ask
it.
you,
Yeah.
like just say like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want it.
Yeah,
Just be like, oh, sorry,
my
I
entire
lost
hum
it.
moment
Well,
is
she
like
went-
them as a couple.
Yeah,
I did
she,
not
Yeah.
like them.
she went up
Yeah.
and she was like, oh, like, here's it back. And she was
It
kind of
wasn't
like being
necessary.
flirty with him a little bit and then handed it back to make him think that, oh, that's her number, so I
Yeah.
can call her. And then it, like, was his. I was kind of like, well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
See,
like-
that's
Yeah.
one of the
I
things.
did not care for that.
That's one of the
go,
things
girl.
that
Yeah.
annoys me with most movies is they always add that like romance because they
The
think
will
that
they, won't they?
they think that like we won't pay attention to the movie if there's no romance. Sometimes it's so unnecessary, and this is
Yeah.
one of the movies where it was not necessary.
Like
they
High
could have
School
just been
Musical,
friends.
yeah.
They could have just been friends, and it would have been the same thing.
Yeah, literally the same thing would have happened.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack.
Oh,
has
do you disagree?
Debatable. I debate.
In what
I
way?
disagree. And the Hocus Pocus, the idea that them two could have been friends.
He
and it
just
would have
likes
been the same effect.
Allison's yapping.
No. But I just no, because I feel like the fact
Man was
that,
just
like,
in it to get
no,
it,
'cause
let's
the
be
fact,
honest.
The fact,
Yeah.
but the fact that he was in it to get it was the whole reason that he was trying to be all like stuck up thing. If they were just friends and he was like, I don't need to impress her, they would be like, yo, like, let's get out of here, let's go hang out.
Well,
like,
but sometimes, like, part of being a teenager is doing dumb stuff with your friends. So
Oh,
I
all the
think it
time.
would have gone the same.
Yeah, I have
Someone
many
would have been like,
friends
I
who
double dog dare
All
you
the
to
time.
light that candle, and he would have lit the candle.
Yeah, there
We
were
do-
Like,
we do some
there's
pretty dumb
other
stuff.
ways to
So-
do it instead of being like, oh,
Especially at
I
the
like this
football
girl and I
games.
need to impress her.
Yeah. I know many people who do stupid stuff without
Yeah.
needing a lover to like guide them into it.
Exactly.
that's fair.
Sometimes the biggest enemy-
Most people in high
yourself.
school.
Very true.
Scooby-Doo laying down bars right now.
It's no surprise to me. I am my own worst enemy.
Oh, whoa.
I rarely have home moments, but it's my segment, so you guys better like it.
The thing is, like,
Yeah.
with
I
home
barely
moments,
have
like
any.
with movies like this that we've all kind of like grown up watching.
The
hard to
nostalgia.
pay
The
attention.
nostalgia kind of like takes over the hum moment.
Oh, I
Yeah,
haven't-
exactly.
There you go.
The nostalgia kind of like overpowers.
Yeah, like
Like
that
all
one
of
with
the like,
A New
oh,
Hope
like
and the
this is
ranking.
confusing, or I don't understand this part. Because also think about it, we've all, well, except for Emma, most of us have probably watched the movie a million times.
Oh, for
We
sure.
probably understand the story by now, you know. So it's hard to think of ha moments
Not when I was young. I didn't
when you've watched the movie so
Really?
much.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I don't really have a home moment. No, I agree with the fact that it's so nostalgic that like I can't
Yeah.
like watch this and go, huh? Like
Yeah.
like there's a few
I didn't
things
really
where like
experience that,
there's a few
'cause-
things where I'm like I agree with Cash's thing where the whole like that scene I was just like that was not written right and it could have been written differently. No,
I feel like some of the characters could have been
number
written
one.
a little bit better, but
Yeah,
like
for
like
sure.
Danny is so annoying.
Yeah.
yeah,
There-
she
no
is.
redeemable
Which she's
qualities
supposed
there.
to be the annoying little sister.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's like
But-
also I feel like they're trying to add like whenever she cries all the time, and you're supposed to be like, oh, she's so cute, but I'm like, oh
But
my
like
gosh,
when you
I
have
kind of wanted her to die.
siblings,
Sorry.
it just makes it so much worse because I have a younger sister and I have an older brother. So I am the middle child, so I was constantly stuck in between their bickering, and having the annoying little sister character just made my life so much worse.
Yeah. I have a home moment.
Higgins.
Well, it was more just an odd scene, like that she felt to be a part of. But when he's making out with his own pillow,
Oh yeah. And then the sister walks in.
yeah,
No,
and
she's
his sister, she
watching.
jumps out of the closet. She's watching
yeah, she's
him do
in there,
this,
yeah.
and she jumps out of the closet. and goes, "Boo!" I was like, paused. I was like,
Pause.
why? I was
Also,
he just
he just got rejected by her, right? And then he's
Yes,
and
and
then
he's
he goes
like-
home and it's like, oh, Allison. Like,
and then like she makes
Let
fun
me
of him
touch
and
on your
stuff.
yabu.
But I was just like, why do we have to be a part of this scene?
Yeah.
Like, it's so
Yeah,
awkward.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
"Oh,
that
I don't
was-
like it.
But also, like, I guess it kind of shows. It goes to show that like he likes her, and it's like
He
trying
likes
to.
her a little
He's
too much.
practicing
That
how
scene would've been before
to
he got
later
rejected by
on
her.
go and.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
could have
dude,
been,
move on.
or it could have been like post, like them sleeping together or something, because she stayed, because like she
Dude, if
did
they
stay and
had a
sleep with him.
sleeping together scene,
They
that would
did.
be crazy.
Well, they did
No,
technically.
wait.
She stayed and slept
Okay,
with
like,
him. No,
they
I'm not
actually,
saying like
like,
sleeping.
yeah, they
I'm
actually,
saying,
like,
This is
They're
a
actually,
Disney
like,
movie.
slept,
They're not
yeah.
gonna do the hanky panky, okay?
I thought you guys were talking about the
They did
Devil's
the Hocus
Tango for a
Pocus.
second.
They did the Hocus
No, they
Pocus.
actually slept.
No,
They
yeah,
actually
it's
went
a
sleep
sleepover.
that night.
That's
Literally
what
fell asleep.
sleeping
Yeah,
is.
like
Oh, that scene
sleeping.
was so.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just-
It was just really like. It was a little too.
That's
Which-
how,
wait,
which
wait,
how do
wait.
you fall asleep
One with his
on
little sister?
Okay, another home
I
moment.
know
No,
her
when they
arms were
yeah.
asleep.
His well, first of all, they're sleeping on a like set of stairs.
Yeah.
Ow.
If
Oh,
you've ever
yeah.
tried to sleep on a staircase,
You
good
can't.
luck.
It depends
You
on the stairs.
can't.
There's some
Yeah.
nice stairs.
And
There's
you're
no
sleeping
way
on a
it's
staircase
comfortable.
with somebody leaning their head on you and falling asleep.
You can't.
And you're sitting like
can't.
this. Like if you're sitting like this on stairs, your back is dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
Like your whole
You're literally
body
just,
is
like-
sore. Like you don't wake up in the morning and
You're
do like
literally
a
like
stretch
this.
like that. You wake up in the morning and
you're
you're
like-
not moving.
Yeah.
Like
It's
Yeah.
like not
I
fun.
don't know, man. I've slept on concrete at like sleepovers.
well, okay,
concrete's different.
concrete
Sorry, not concrete.
floor.
What do you have, like tile?
Concrete
Yeah, no,
floor,
concrete,
tile,
anything like that,
anything.
it hits different.
it
but
does.
the stairs, is the
There's a
fact that
difference
it's
between
inclined.
sleeping on like a
elevates your
flat
head.
surface and something that
sleeping
goes
on
like this.
Stairs.
Yeah.
Is
that
that
would
your
be
your
a
body's
very
like
unusual.
angled
Sex
weird?
Girl, I sleep 13 plus hours a day. I wake up at 6, I go to school, I come home at 5, and I sleep till like maybe 7, and then I eat, and then I go back to sleep at 10.
EJ's
Girl,
That's crazy.
what?
Quality.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
love
For me, it's
sleep.
impossible to take naps because then I won't sleep.
Girl,
But-
I take naps.
insane.
Okay, now it's time for
This.
or that.
Woo!
Since Cash and I are both here.
Yes.
Yes.
We
They
can do
both
it
get
together.
to
The first and
Yeah.
only time this will ever happen.
Well,
It may
Yes.
happen.
Well,
And
not
this is-
only
this is
time,
the
not
same.
only
This,
time.
Unlike last episode where we had rock, paper, scissors it out just to
This
come
time
to an
we
agreement.
have an odd number.
Unless Cash makes a crappy decision, then we should be
I
able
always
to do
make
3 and
crappy
2.
decisions,
So-
so I'll
So-
make it for you.
I think that Hocus Pocus should be dead last.
What?
What?
I
You
think
think
it should
it's
be
worse
second
than
to
the
last.
blackening?
I think it's the blackening.
No,
No,
bro.
I second to last.
Hocus
I
Pocus
think
has
second
gotta
to
be better
last.
than the
So
Black.
you think after Scream?
I think after Scream. I think I love Scream.
Better
Actually,
or worse than Scream?
No,
I'm
Scream
gonna
is
say
better.
third. I think it's better than Scream.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Purely off
I agree.
nostalgia.
No.
Yes. Better than
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Agreed.
I
Yes.
agree with
Purely
you.
off nostalgia.
So
Yes.
does everybody
Well,
agree?
that's 4v1. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So,
we just need to
No
kick
longer
off
exists.
Emma this
final
episode. No,
final ranking
Oh god.
so
we need
far.
A whiteboard.
Yeah, we
Oh,
really need a
we
whiteboard.
need a reminder. for
So-
that. Okay, Breakfast Club.
Like,
Breakfast
it's getting
Club.
kind of crowded.
Return of the Jedi.
Sound
Okay,
of Music,
Sound of Music.
Empire Strikes Back,
E.T.
E.T.
A New Hope.
Hocus
Hocus
Pocus,
Pocus,
Scream,
Scream,
and
Blackening.
The Blackening.
Blackening.
It's interesting that all of the Halloween episodes,
Y'all need to
all
make
the Halloween
better
movies we've
Halloween
watched.
movies.
Well, I
Well,
thought
there
me and
are
you thought
some
Scream
good-
should have went
some really
higher.
good.
I
So there-
personally think Hocus Pocus should be higher, but for the sake of everyone's
Well,
sanity, I
also-
will not be arguing.
Also, well, it'd still be 3 to 1 to 1. So
That is very
technically, also I will say Halloween. There are great movies. It's just
Yeah.
hard to beat classic,
Halloween movie.
Yeah.
big bang movies. Like we hit Star Wars, E.T., Sound of Music, and Breakfast
Yeah.
Club,
Yeah,
That's
we've done.
hard to
which
yeah.
is just
Any-
hard
yeah.
to
Hard to
beat.
compare to that.
Any.
Happy Halloween!
We hope y'all enjoyed the episode.
Stay safe.
Yes,
safe.
stay
Please.
safe.
We
Don't
hope
do
you-
anything bad. Don't do
Yeah.
anything I wouldn't do.
As our
Don't do
teacher
anything
says-
EJ would do.
Yeah.
Go follow us on Instagram, We're
TikTok,
also on
and
TikTok.
Spotify.
Yeah,
Yes.
Spotify as well.
Subscribe.
Of course, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Subscribe, leave a like,
JEREC podcast.
comment, of course.
If you
we love
like,
seeing your comments.
Yes.
We hope you agree with
Let
our
us know what
rankings.
you guys are dressing up as.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would
Yeah.
like to hear y'all's Halloween ranking too,
Oh,
just
yeah.
off of those
And
3.
give us some Halloween movie
Yeah.
suggestions so we can watch it on our own time, and
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll
because
respond
we'd love
back.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next
Community posts,
the
yeah.
next episode, which is I think this next movie is going to be the perfect transition from Halloween
Halloween
to
to
Christmas. It is.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
I was gonna mention it earlier.
Yes.
So, but
I
it's up there
love
now.
Tim Burton.
Which this movie is the transition in between Halloween and Christmas.
Yes.
Hope you
We will
agree.
see y'all next
guys.
week with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Bye guys.
Love you.
Deuces.